Yeah, that's really a 1970 Dodge Challenger TA that for a while had been sitting neglected in the Packard plant in Detroit, and now it's safe and in the suburbs. All right, here's a 1970 Dodge Challenger TA. I'm in Detroit looking at it. It's a real burnt orange interior, 70 Challenger TA. And I know all the Mopar guys are going to be wondering, why isn't there any 340 sticker there? To be truthful, in 1974, this car had a major accident and the front fenders were replaced. So that's why this one doesn't have the sticker. And we were just looking at some of the parts he had. That's a original 1971 tough wheel that e-bodies never came with tough wheels, but the guy who bought his other car, which I'll show you in a minute, worked at the plant that made Challengers and was able to get one from the A-body line and put it on in 71. But I'll show you that car in a minute. But I'll tell you the history of this one real quick. This car was owned by a gentleman in Detroit who was the main lessee of the Packard plant on the northeast side of Detroit. The famous one that I'll throw some pictures up here, sitting, dilapidated. I'll show you the ad. The guy responded to an ad looking for someone to be the lessee at the Packard plant, and he accepted, moved up to Detroit in like 81 and accepted the job. And if you leased a space in the Packard plant from 81 through its when it was condemned in like 99-ish, you leased it through this guy. He was big into Challenger TAs. He had a whole bunch. He actually cruises Woodward, I hear, in a purple 70 Challenger TA. You can see this one has been off the road. Came from Texas. 1980 was the last time it was on the road. And you can see that when they put the sticker on this side, it's backwards. Yes, we know. So this car sat in the Packard plant for a few years, we know for sure. And what happened was the plant was condemned, and at midnight on like December 31st, 1999, the marshals or the law came and cut the locks on all the storage units, and the lessee's cars, most of them had been taken out except this one. And when he showed up the next day to pull it out, the tail lights, the trunk, which isn't the original, the tail lights, which you can see are still gone, and the front grille assembly, which he got a replacement, had been stolen off the car. Well, a few years prior, the owner here, his friend had left. I don't know if you can see. There was marks. You can see can't really see. You can see he actually took tape and some cardboard and wrote on the windshield on this cardboard, "If you ever want to sell this car, call me." So the owner was so pissed off that the stuff had been stolen off the car, he called him because the piece of cardboard was still in the car. And the guy didn't have the money because it was like 10 years later. And so he said to his friend, he's like, "Hey, would you be interested in a 70 Challenger TA?" The guy just called me. And the friend's like, "You know what? I'm getting married next year. Let me see what I can do." He talked to his, at the time, fiance. He's like, "Hey, this is really cheap for this car. I'll make sure that everything's good. I really need to get this car." And so she was kind enough, and he was able to buy the car in 1999, 2000 time frame. And they brought it home because, I'll show you in a minute, his other car, he has basically doubles because he has a 70 Challenger 340 automatic car also, but not a TA. Like, this is a TA. I'll say real quick. Has the wrong dash on it. It's got an AC dash and some other stuff. Racing helmet. How about new old stock tail pipes for TA and AAR Cudas? I mean, you can see that it still has the original Chrysler stickers on them. If you have a original burnt orange non-AC single speaker dash, let me know. But then the owner, he got married, he has kids, so this car has just been on the back burner. But now the kids are getting older, and so more than likely here shortly he will be able to start working on it, which I'm excited to see. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that front end, right? All right, here's the second car, and like I said, it's funny that he has two burnt orange 70 Challengers, both with 340s, both with automatics. This was the owner's high school car. He drove it. He was the second owner. He knew the first owner. He drove it, you know, when he was young and beat on it and enjoyed it and put it away for a rainy day. And he's actually been working on this a little bit. See, it's got the rally gauge cluster, vinyl top car, black, but it's got a black interior. Well, the TA right there has the burnt orange interior. He's got a lot of parts to put this one together. And then here real quick, there's the original 6-pack for the TA and some taillights for it. But he also, and then there's air cleaner and oil pan. And over here, oh, we put them down here for me. He has new old stock 1970 Challenger TA mufflers. These are the factory ones with the stamping and the numbers that are all correct for the TA. He's got the two, and he's also got some air cleaners and some other stuff. But here, as soon as the sons, you know, they're going to start working here shortly, and he'll be able to put some money away and start putting the car together, which I'm really excited about. And hopefully he'll have both done, and I'll get some follow-up pictures in a few years of them side by side, because that would be absolutely awesome. I've actually had the opportunity to visit the owner's property twice. I've also been very fortunate that the owner lives not far from Woodward Dream Cruise, so it made hitting it up twice very easy to do. And both times he's made progress on working on the cars, to say the least, because he's been able to collect more parts. And now that his children are getting up there in age, they're going to start working, so he's going to have a little bit more of a disposable income to be able to spend on the cars. Especially the first project is going to be the TA. That's the important one. That's the one that he wants to get done. I forgot to show in the pictures, but he actually has the original numbers matching block and I believe heads. And so he's only missing a few little knickknacks. But you can see from the fender tag, it's well optioned, burnt orange car, burnt orange interior. And then that's the interior out of his other 340 car. I didn't get a picture of it otherwise, but yeah. So here in the future, I'll have an update with the restoration as it goes on. Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed the video from my friend in Detroit with his 70 Challenger TA and 7340 Challenger. Don't forget, in 1970, the 340 was not an RT. In 71, though, it was an RT, depending on what you got. But just a really cool, weird fact. I'm packing up right now to head to Jefferson's Swap Meet. And I know when this post will be after the fact, so I hope I saw you there. But lots of cool stuff coming up. Not quite sure what. With everything with the Challenger happening, which isn't much. They just called me the other day that they are going to start checking it out and officially giving a diagnosis. And they're going to do the engine and then the transmission, which will be interesting to say the least. But I'll keep you all updated, of course, here and on my social media. Actually, I'll probably have a special video next Thursday coming out. Hopefully, if I can get there, depending on how. If the van just, let's see, right there, if that thing makes it. I'll talk to you all soon. Stay safe.